All right, so we've got Joe Chrysler. I've met you through the Tuscarora Tomahawks, and then I found out. So you were the owner of the team back when they went to the President's Cup.
Yes, back in '94, Tuscarora Thunderhawks. Close friend of mine came to me and asked me if we wanted to put a team back in to the Can-Am League. And in '93, we started it. And we went to British Columbia representing the Can-Am League. Okay, and we placed fourth, but it was a good experience because the following year, uh, that's when we hosted had it in Hamilton, Ontario. Okay, and we were playing our home games in the Niagara Falls Memorial Arena. So we won our league and we represented our team in President's Cup. And a lot of these players that were on this team pretty much played together since they were peewees, and they went all the way through up to where we were at senior B level. And we knew what we had to do and quality of players that loved the game at heart and at mind. And through the whole season, we had that. I mean, I look at the lineup and I say, these guys played amazing lacrosse. And these guys played for the love of the game. And to have those guys together like that, I don't think I will ever see a team that played for the love of the game, our medicine game. It was amazing. I mean, we were in the final for the President's Cup against Ladner, British Columbia. And the game was close. I mean, it could have been either way. But the coaching staff that we had on there, Mouse Henry, we built it on defense first. Defense first makes it a better team to get a better chances for offense. And that's what that team did all year. And then they get in the President's Cup. Every one of those guys that were on that team played their hearts out. And it was in 1994. In 1964, a team called the Oswego Braves was the last Native American team to win the President's Cup.
So you went from 64 to 94 without another Native American team winning, and it was the Oswego. What was it? The
They were the Braves.
Okay, and then so you guys, so you actually played on the Canadian side of the border,
Hmm.
but it was a Tuscarora team that played in Niagara. So I didn't realize that the Tuscarora team, and I didn't realize some of the storied players, I guess, that came from the Tuscarora Nation. I mean, what were some of the guys? So in '93, when you won the cup, who were some of the players that were on that team?
Well, we were both of my brothers, Raj and Randy, Bear Henry, James Bissell, Emmett Printup, Tony Patterson, Dale Henry, our goaltender, and Wheat Gansworth. And these are, I know I'm missing some names, but these are the guys that played together on our nation when we had our own lacrosse box.
And that's still a lot of the names I recognize. I mean, Print Up is obviously
Hmm.
still a name you hear a lot in the Tuscarora community. The Chryslers, obviously, you're involved in every level of it.
Hmm.
But yeah, no, and Henry, like, yeah, that's funny. So as you say the names, it's a lot of names I recognize now that I've gotten to do a lot of these. And now something that a lot of the Haudenosaunee people have told me is that you guys consider yourselves ambassadors of the sport to kind of go out and spread it. And you see it with your teams. You have like five or six Tuscarora kids, but then it's not as big of a community as maybe some of the other ones. So you guys do a really good job of bringing people in. And I mean, a prime example of that now is with Belter, and now we see him playing on Team USA. And I mean, just the amount of players that have come through the Tuscarora community, it blew my mind as I've talked to you guys and find more of these players. It's like, wow.
Oh yeah, I mean, in today's lacrosse is that with the NLL. It's basically a pro league. And the team that we had one individual by the name of Mark Burnham, who played in the earlier years with the Buffalo Bandits, and he also played for Syracuse University. He was on our team, and and just to see these guys work together during that time period was amazing. I mean, I don't know if they had videotaping of that tournament. If they do, if somebody does have it, I would like to get a copy because my our mother, who was our backbone along with our father, but he passed away and didn't get a chance to see this, but we knew he was there, and it was amazing. I mean, I cannot tell you how proud of the people that we had with us behind the scenes with the teams. All teams have people behind the scenes. And the people that we had with us for that team, they loved it. They loved lacrosse. Maybe their days of playing were over, like myself, you know, but to come together and just do what we had to do to bring a team. Now, the following year, after '94, uh, the President's Cup, all those championship, they go back and forth, East Coast, West Coast. That President's Cup was supposed to go back to West Coast. Well, the West Coast, nobody wanted it. So our league, Can-Am, said, well, we'll host it. And at that time, we were playing out of the old Niagara Falls Memorial Arena. So in essence, the President's Cup could be played because we were playing in Canada.
Yeah.
Okay, so we ended up hosting it in Niagara Falls, the Memorial Arena, and we played hard. Like, once again, played hard. We ended up taking the bronze medal, and British Columbia took the President's Cup home that year. I believe it was Ladner. Always good lacrosse out that way. And a close friend of mine who helped me with this team, the players that we had, Father Time had caught up with everybody. And we said to ourselves, we accomplished what we sat down at a coffee table. Let's get a team together and let's try to make a run for a President's Cup. And we accomplished it. And some of the players that were on that team, God rest their soul, have passed away. And James was talking to me about trying to get all the players together just to have a little commemorative get together and have maybe a luncheon or something like that. Even our coach at that time, Mouse Henry, let's get together and maybe play some golf or have a little cornhole uh, tournaments they have out there now. Just to get together, like all pro teams do. That win the Lombardi Trophy or the Stanley Cup. They get it together. We would like to do this too. So, but yeah, that's what we did. It was hard work from management right down to the players that we put on the floor. Yeah, but it was great.
Absolutely. So now, it's kind of funny. So I meet you, and you help out with the junior team. Your brother Randy owns the junior team. So here we are. What are we? Whoa, we're getting old now. So we're 30 years past '94. You saw the run that happened with the senior team last year. They made a decision as a community, basically, that moving Darris down to the junior team is definitely the best to really build that crop.
Yes.
So I mean, you guys continuing to spread the game. How cool is it for you to now get to see these moments captured? So in 30 years, when I'm talking to your brother or whoever the next guy that maybe takes these kids to the Founders Cup or whatever, the case may be, and now we're going to be able to, watch it. That's got to be pretty cool from your perspective.
I tell you what, I had been out of lacrosse since '95. I basically retired. And my brothers had been coaching over in Canada, Niagara Lake, for years. My brother Randy wanted to start a team in our league here, the First Nations Lacrosse League. And he asked me, would you like to come out and help as an assistant manager? I said, sure. And then the pandemic hit and shut everything down. But yet he was still online looking at high schools, colleges of field lacrosse players. Because in our nation, we don't have the population of, as of yet, but our minor system is growing. Within 5 years, we're probably going to have a really decent junior B team. But that's what he did. He built that team which you see today by contacting him and I and our GM Scott Davis, going to different colleges.
Well, it's like you said, it's all the behind the scenes work, all the stuff you don't see. That's what really makes it a great program. And you see it here with the senior program was my introduction. I mean, just to kind of set the stage for how I know the Tuscarora guys is, as soon as they saw we were streaming games, they were the first team to reach out that we weren't, affiliated with. I had met Ron Cogan through PBLA when they were doing that stuff, so I got hooked up with Onondaga, whereas James just called. James was just like, hey, what is it going to take to get you out there? He started sending us messages, and we were like, well, I don't know, let's try it. So we got out here, and it's been an absolute blast. Hopefully we get to do this again and kind of catch up on some more, but I know we've got a lot to get ready for. Juniors game starts in about an hour. Thanks so much, Joe. Really appreciate you taking the time.
I appreciate your time, and hopefully I didn't make a fool of myself. My brothers are probably, my sister will probably tell me I did somewhere.
You absolutely did not, and don't listen to him on this one.